What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm hoping in this video we're gonna button up the turbo CRV. Now if you guys haven't seen the last video, be sure to go back and show it some love. We did all the maintenance to the CRV, got it running good again. We put the turbo manifold and turbo setup into the car to make sure everything about that and the oiling system is good. Then we built the intercooler and charge piping system, and I'm hoping today we're gonna be doing the full entire exhaust system along with all the miscellaneous components like the AC, the radiator fan, the fuel pump, some of the miscellaneous stuff on the intake manifold, possibly an oil catch can. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go, guys. And I did go driving around all day today to try to find a flex pipe, and not one auto parts store has one in stock, or at least in 2.5. Amazon did show up with some of the stuff that we need. We're going to be installing those today. Now I did go to the backyard to check what I have to do with this exhaust system, and I do have a couple of stuff that I can use. And this one right here, I want to give a shout out to my homie Isai. If you guys remember the turbo element build, this came off his old Honda Civic wagon that was turboed, and then I think he went full 3-inch. So I have his old 2.5 exhaust system right there, and it has a really good flex pipe on it right there. So we're probably going to use that as well. There are some other bends that I could use if need be, because like I said, we're building this exhaust system on the low, on the budget, with leftover parts. And if you guys didn't see the last video, Eric did show up. He did drop off a muffler we're going to be using today. We're going to unbox that. So I think first thing on the list to do is the big stuff, which is the exhaust system. Let's get to work. A quarter of this flex pipe wasn't even welded. It just literally fell off when I got to right here. I'm gonna try to plow through this exhaust system. So I want to give you guys a quick little update before I get ahead of myself. So I cut a 45.5 to clock the flex pipe away from the transfer case. It is all tacked into place right now. And then I took the 2.5 exhaust, mocked it up here just to kind of see what I'm working with. Granted, this exhaust system came out of a Civic wagon, so it's a little different on the back half right there. It looks like I'm gonna have to cut right there that goes underneath the LCA, just so that I can clock this portion up just a little bit more, right, to kind of kick this up. But if need to be, I'll put a little triangle cut in there to kind of clock it up higher. And before I actually do all of that, I want to unbox the muffler, see where it lands, to kind of get a visual of this back half of the piping right here. It says right here in the box, 2.5-inch long center V3. Okay, so there's no tailpipe. Okay, so 1320 canister style muffler, 2.5, I believe 3.5 out. Hopefully it sounds good with turbo, because we are not running a resonator. Sometimes struggle comes with budgeting, and because we're keeping it super budgeted with this CRV, the exhaust system, we're building it obviously from scrap, and we're almost done with it. I've already welded everything up, and I would have to put it in the car to weld the axle back to the mid pipe, and the only reason why is because I don't have any more flanges. Usually I do V-bands, 2 bolts, 3 bolts, but I don't have any like consumables as of late. So I only found one set of 2-bolt flange, which is for the downpipe to the exhaust. And then I've been fighting myself to not weld this exhaust system as one piece because I don't have another flange set for the axle back to the mid exhaust. Last night when I was putting the exhaust on, I kicked my tripod and it tipped over and it broke my mount. Yeah, that kind of sucks. But anyways, last night I finished the exhaust system and I closed up at about 12 o'clock last night. I didn't get to turn on the car. I don't know how it sounds like, and I'm very curious. I want to give you guys a look really quickly. 1320 back muffler. Ugh. Yeah, over here we have that slip joint. I gotta go buy that U-clamp to clamp that down. Axle, plenty of clearance, goes all the way across, all the way to the front. Crawl underneath here, show you guys the flex pipe. I did wrap the down pipe as well. Yeah, I wanna hear this thing turn on real quick, and then we're gonna move on to all the other little things we need to button up with this car. Now, obviously, we don't have a resonator on the car, and I'm hoping that it's not too loud, although turbo is like a silencer itself. Most of my cars don't even have resonators, and they're pretty quiet. We have a check engine light because the O2 sensors are not on. That transmission is making a lot of noise. Holy cow. You know what? It's really not that loud. I mean, the car is idling, warming up right now, so it's like 1200 RPMs, but honestly, it's not that loud. Let me try to set you guys up so we can do some little short revs. Shut it off. I don't want the car to get too hot because I'm working in the engine bay today. Next thing I want to work on right now is the AC and the radiator fan. So we're going to be using a Spall fan, same fan that I have on that car, same fan I have on this car, same fan I have on the wagon, same fan I have on a sedan. The reason why we're upgrading the fan is for 2 reasons. The factory fan sticks out a little too far. This whole section hits the turbo housing, and I can't cut it enough to like clear without touching the actual fins. So I'm upgrading because of fitment, and 2, I'm upgrading because this is a good fan for turbo cars, especially because we're now turboed. So you want to contain the temperature, and this is like my recommended fan, and you can get this off of Amazon for 87 bucks. I already modified the fan for the factory plug, so it's plug and play right here. When you don't have a fan mounting kit, you can take some window seal foam and some zip ties to mount the fan on the radiator. So you can see right there, 1 zip tie, and then backside foam and the head of another zip tie to tie it into place. So fan is on, and I need to mount the radiator back to the core support to do the AC fan. And when I took this off initially, somebody stripped the hell out of it and it doesn't thread. And then this one is like completely rusted out, so I'm gonna have to drill it out, put some riv nuts in it, mount this, and then AC fan. if I pull the radiator back just a little bit, the AC fan clears the turbo. It's hard to see, but it's cleared. I can bend it in just a little bit just to kind of give me a little more clearance, but AC fan fits. Got the horns relocated, drilled 2 little holes right there for a 12mm bolt and nut, and that should sit perfectly behind the intercooler. This part is still further out than the nose of the horn, so the horn itself won't actually touch the intercooler. And I do put a foam in between here before the intercooler so that doesn't puncture this guy back here. I polished out the dump tube so it looks really good. Hopefully it burns good. Dump tube snaked all the way down. Oh, there it is. So I know I mentioned earlier about this piece right here on the manifold and that it was too late to swap out the manifold for either an OBD1 or a skunk style manifold. We have this giant hole right here, right? And it goes into this giant box. I don't know what this does, but it goes into here. And the thing is, we don't want to lose boost. We don't want boost to come in, come up here, do whatever it does, and then we end up making less, or it's laggier in a sense, right? So instead of swapping out the manifold, draining out the cooling system and messing up the gasket that we just put on, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be welding this shut, right? We're going to take off this rubber gasket. We're going to weld this shut, right? Make it nice and like smooth, and then we're gonna pretty much plug up that hole using this, so that way boost doesn't come up and go in here. This is kind of like a coupler. It's rubber. It's like a double seal, right? The seal on the side is one to keep it snugged on here, and this top piece right here keeps it snug on the top, so it's kind of like a double seal. And we're not making a ton of boost to worry about this popping off or tearing up or whatever the case may be. Obviously it's sealed tight because the car idles normal. It's not a high idle, it's not surging, it's not fluctuating, not doing any weird things. So I'm pretty sure this will hold under 10 pound of boost, no problem. And if this car ever needs to go back to factory reset, go to a junkyard, get another one of this with the hole open, put it back in, and now we have a functioning whatever this is supposed to do, right? So I'm going to be welding this. And then another thing too is the PCV system right here. Obviously this is a check valve, right? Pressure comes out, there shouldn't be any air going in, right? So it should technically do its job, but we've had issue before where boost would induce, come in, and you can literally like pressurize your crankcase system. You don't want that. You don't want pressure in your crankcase, and this is supposed to relieve, not let boost come in. So we're also going to be not eliminating this, but we are going to be moving this to a catch can. So this right here, we're going to pop it off, and then we're going to run a boost reference to the wastegate to run whatever spring is inside of here. That's going to be our vacuum source for the wastegate. This line and this line, which goes to the intake typically. These two, I'm going to run it to a catch can, just so that if it builds crankcase pressure, if it pukes out oil, it'll be in the catch can instead. So it's kind of like the same thing, because this goes to the intake, it goes that way, you know, same. So instead of going into the manifold, it's going to go into the catch can. It's going to function like it should, and the crankcase will still have a breather from the catch can. So that's what we're going to do. catch cam mounted. Found some random hoses to connect to the valve cover and to the PCV system right here. Now I just got to do this one to wastegate, and then we can put that big hunk of junk back on. So I took a little break to go on Instagram live stream to pick a winner for the free t-shirt contest, and all you really had to do was take a wild guess on how much horsepower the K20A Integra made on the dyno. I posted on Instagram like for 2 days. There was over 670 entries. A lot of people guessed 220 without a decimal. So to be fair, I took all 13 names. I put it on a wheel of name, and that right there is our winner. Hopefully he claims his prize. Gonna get a free t-shirt, gonna get a sticker along with that. Hopefully I'll ship it out soon. Let's get back to work. Very convenient for the CRV RD1 to have the fuel tank accessible from the inside of the car in the rear seat. Fold the seat over. I was going to take off the framing, but I wanted to test the ocean to see if I can pull the hanger assembly out, and we're able to. So all of this bracketry is still in place, letting it drain out right now, and it looks like the sending unit is one whole piece to the fuel pump hanger. So we're going to be swapping this stock fuel pump out for an AM unit. I hope this kit right here, 50-1000, is going to place the fuel pump and the filter in the same orientation as the CRV. Because if it doesn't, we're going to have to do some modifying. All right, so we have the AM pump installed with the provided filter. Not too fond of it because it is obviously a lot different than the factory CRV one. Larger for one, and if you look, we got more sock on the right. This one is dead center, and it's a little tinier. This one has a little angle on the neck, where this one is just straight up, so it might sit a little taller, but obviously it'll still suck the fuel because, you know, it's almost at the very bottom, like the factory one. I did try to take the filter off to move over here, but this neck is like super loose on here, so I decided to just run the provided filter, and you know, I don't think we'll have like a major problem. Just don't run into E. So there's only 2 more things I need to do with the CRV before I can put it back on the floor. Well, technically 1, because I have the motor mounts already. I want to do it, but you know, when I'm looking at the back, I'm like, do I want to deal with all that back there? I'm not sure. He told me, don't worry about it if I can't get to it. He can do it, or he'll come back and do it again later. But it's like, it's already here. It's right there. Like, do I just do it? Aside from the motor mount, it's just test fitting the front bumper. We have to cut the front of the grill to fit the intercooler, which, oh shit, I still need to put back on. But anyways, that goes on once I figure out if I'm gonna do the motor mount, because the transmission one. So it's just fitting up the bumper, and then we can put the car on the ground and see how everything is, and it might be able to go home tonight. I don't know. Worst case scenario, I still have about 2 or 3 day leeway before the next car show up. So if I need to hold it here for another day or 2, not a problem. Cut away from yourself, not towards yourself, because that would be dangerous. So 1320 motor mounts. It says right here, RD1 2-bolt 75A black. And this engine, dude, this thing rocks a lot. I mean, it's kind of hard to do with one hand, but 75 is gonna rattle that dashboard most definitely. So 2-bolt, just to make sure we are a 2-bolt right there, because there is a 3-bolt as well for, you know, different chassis. But okay, they include a bolt. This one's gonna go through the bracket for the driver's side. That's the bracket for the driver's side. And then this one is 2-bolt driver's side, 1320. Ooh, not shabby. Not shabby. I guess we're doing motor mounts. What's crazy about the CRV, I'm just finding out right now, is that the T-bracket is still connected to the short block and the transmission. There just so happens to be enough space between the bracket and the firewall to remove the bolts and the motor mount. without taking anything else apart. So this just makes my life a little easier. Look at that. Easy. And they're shot too. So this mount is this guy right here. And it looks like we're gonna have to reuse the factory bolts because these 3 are 17. And that's for the bracket. 1, 2, 3. And then we have one 14 mil threaded bolt right here. Not entirely sure what this one is for. Anyways, I was fighting a cool minute with that rear mount, and the one towards the engine, this bolt right here, that's what the other bolt was for. That 114 that was in here, because it doesn't have a shoulder to try to align. Instead, it's straight thread. So I was fighting it for a cool minute. So I'm gonna do the passenger side right now. Just gotta remove this bracket, 3 17 mil bolt and nut. Bracket comes off, and then this mount is bolted to the chassis with also 3 17 millimeter. Replace the mount, and we're retaining the factory bracket. So this thing is 3 bolts. That was my mistake. And now we replace it with this guy right here. Almost there. So I noticed that the mount to the chassis is 14 mil threaded, and the new bolts are 17s. So it looks like it needs a little massaging because that one lines up, and then these 2 guys are off. So I told Eric I'm probably not going to be able to finish the car tonight for him to come pick it up. Plus it's like 10:30 right now. So he said it's okay to pick it up tomorrow after work, which actually kind of gives me a little extra time because I forgot a few things I needed to do. He dropped the S300 off. I want to program that in the car, make sure the ECU works, make sure we can run the car on the ECU. And also I need to go buy that U-clamp for the exhaust system in the back. I did turn it on earlier for you guys, and you can see it was leaking on the floor right there. So I want to put a clamp on there to kind of keep that from separating. And the engine bay, for the most part, is done. I mean, top and bottom side, intercooler, charge pipe, everything's all back on. This bar back on. And another thing I want to add to the list, I went through my bin. I might have material, but I want to build an intake for the turbo to kind of come up and over here. And I also noticed that the dump tube points straight back with a bunch of oil down there, and I just cleaned the shield, so I might end up putting a turn down on this just to aim it to the floor and not at the engine. So with that being said, guys, we're going to continue tomorrow for just a little bit. See you guys in a second. So with that being said, I am going to continue this tomorrow just so we can finalize it 100% before it goes home. So I was running around all day today, and I just got back home, went to the parts store to find some U-clamps in 2 different sizes because I know one of the pipe is a little bit smaller than the other. I'm not entirely sure if that back section is a 2.5 or 2 1/4, but we have 2 clamps just in case. I don't want to have to run back to the parts store. Went to Walmart, bought a bunch of groceries and cat food. $280 damn. Like I went there for cat food and almost $300 later, but we're back home now. And guys, we are trying to button up this car. I am supposed to be taking in another car tomorrow, Turbo EK, and I need this car out of here. So today we're gonna be buttoning it up. We're just gonna dive right into it. We're gonna build an intake for the turbo, put the U-clamp on the axle back, and fit up the front bumper. Then we can drop the car. Let's get to it. I'm gonna put it right in the middle The slip is all the way to the end, so it's the full length. All right, bumper time. Let's see what we are working with. I can't even push the bumper back because we are maxed out right here at the bottom. So definitely gonna have to trim this section right here to match up with this up here and see. Oh yeah, you can see this part right here as well too. That's probably gonna need to go. Just to show you guys one more time, you see the curve right here? What we're trying to get is flat. We just want this to go straight across. So that means a triangle piece of this is gonna come off. Not the smartest way to do it, but it is the fastest way to do it if you know what you're doing. So here's a rough cut of the grill. I am going to clean it up a little bit. I did cut the two little slot off right here, which looks like that, but not a big deal. The intercooler is black, it's going to blend. First cut, not too shabby. We do need to trim a little bit more. I was looking at the coupler over here, but I didn't look over there, so we need to trim a lot more here. And because the intercooler bumper is symmetrical, whatever cut I got to make over here is the same cut I have to make over there. I've taken this bumper off like 10 times now and trimmed it to perfection. Hopefully this is the last time. Wow. Yeah, I thought the intercooler was gonna fill up the grill, but I guess it didn't. I'm not even mad about it. Dude, look at this. You can't even tell at first glance. But if you came up close, yep, that's an intercooler. Officially back on the ground. Now, before I do the intake, I want to pull the car out just so I can take some photos before the sun goes down, because I'm still hoping the car goes home tonight. Oh, then my boy with the S2K just pulled up. Guys, I'll tell you what, man, in 1320 motor mounts, 9-day difference. This thing, you couldn't feel it before and it was like super soft. Now with the motor mounts that we just finished last night, everything vibrates in this car. But I'm very happy on how everything turned out. This thing looks really good. Aside from whatever's rattling, check it out. Dude, look, you can't even tell the intercooler is there. The only reason why you can tell is because the T-bolt clamps are silver. But yeah, you can't even tell. Oh, that's definitely the bumper. Yeah, there you go. Probably put some cardboard in there to wedge it down a little bit. Dude, it's not that loud. Can you rev it a little bit for me in the back? Go ahead. Not shabby. Not shabby. And we noticed that the blow-off valve was working too. Look at the blow-off valve. I will say that something was going on with this front end, and when I took the whole entire front end off, there was like some wrinkles here and there. The bumper, if you look, that's not normal. That's all bulged out. That side, the tab's like almost all ripped up, so I can't even close the gap. But there you go, that little squeaking goes away. It just needs a new bumper, man, a new bumper. But I'm overall super duper satisfied, and we're just about done with this thing. The intake should be easy to make, which I'll still do before we cap out this video. And also I'm gonna pop the ECU out to put in the S300, map it, make sure it's all Gucci, because we are throwing check engine lights for O2 sensors right there. But other than that, man, we're almost done wrapping it up for the CRV. And then if you guys notice, my boy drove his S2K all the way from SoCal, and it's turbo. He came all the way over here for an OEM hardtop. So he drove all the way over here. He picked up some hardware from me, Tuner hardware, and he just came back from picking up this hardtop, got it all mounted up, and he's gonna be headed back to SoCal tonight. So CRV, I'm not gonna drive around the block, obviously. I'm gonna put it back up on the driveway and see what else we can do. Finally, the fan's on. Everything's working. So I just got back home like 15 minutes ago. Me and my buddy with the S2K went to go grab some food, and we were just kind of chopping it up a little bit since I don't see him often. He was originally from up here. He moved to SoCal 5 years ago, came up here to get a hardtop, swung by to hang out for a little bit, and he just left to head back down to SoCal, which is like 6-hour drive in his turbo S2000. So I talked to Eric, which I now just realized that the Integra owner name was Eric, and this guy with the CRV is also Eric. So I spoke to Eric, and I told him earlier before I left that I don't think I'll get this car done in time for him to come pick it up tonight. Granted, he has to sleep early for work. He told me not to worry about it. He can pick it up tomorrow, no problem. And I'm probably gonna push back the EK another day, since he's unsure when the car is gonna show up here, whether it's tomorrow night or the next day's morning. So it doesn't matter to me. Got plenty of space to take either or cars, but I'm still gonna finish up the CRV. Earlier, before I left, I tried to hook up the S300, but unfortunately the jumper harness is an OBD2A to OBD1. The CRV would need an OBD2B, a different plug, to OBD1, and it is like 11:22 right now. So we lost a lot of time, and we didn't get to make the intake. I still want to make the intake. My buddy Eric also wants the intake, and because the car is not being picked up tonight but tomorrow after 6:30, I got plenty of time to make just one intake for the car. So that means we're just gonna pick up again with you guys tomorrow in a second. See you guys then. Now, when he told me budget, we're gonna keep it budget. Big shout out to the homie Kel for letting me go through his scrap bin to get all these cut off pieces for, you know, just that one piece we need to finish the puzzle, and just a bunch of practice materials. So we're gonna keep this super duper budgeted, and we're gonna make an intake for the turbo off some random cut off pieces, something like that. Straight piece, straight piece, something like that. Maybe a 45 like this one. That's a weird buck tooth. Something like this. I don't know if I want the filter to point up. Kind of want it a little more straighter. Maybe a 45 with a little more leg on it. It looks like mainly straights, a bunch of straights in here. DIY B-roll. I don't know, something like that. I might even use the other clean 45 and just add a leg to it. Maybe add a leg to this one, since we need to cut it off anyways. I don't know, something like that. We can twist these around and get them to aim and point wherever we need to go. Let me figure something out. So this didn't come out how I pictured it, right? For some reason, I'm thinking S shape, kind of like this guy right here. But you know what? It will do. It will do. So this piece right here was a little tricky because the filter is not a 3 and it's not a 2.5. So I measured it out. It's about 2 3/4. And what I had to do was, you can see where I flared this. So this was a 3-inch pipe. I slid it in the middle. I took a piece out. I clamped it back together. I welded the seam shut to get it to 2 3/4. And now this part right here fits obviously into the filter, and it's joined up to the 3. So right now I'm just gonna go ahead and fully weld this thing up so we can install it and be done with the CRV, man. We've been working on this thing for like 50 days now. It's time to button it up. So I just got back home from dinner with my family because today is my mom's birthday. So Eric is on his way to come and pick up the car, and I'm almost certain it's ready to go home. Aside from being on the S300 because probably a faulty jumper harness, we are currently back on the stock ECU. Both the O2 sensors are back on, and I just want to make sure the car doesn't throw a check engine light. And I just want to warm it up, maybe just cruise it around the block or something, and make sure it's good to drive, because he has to drive, it's like 30 miles. So I want to make sure the CRV is good for a 30-mile drive. So let's fire this thing over. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and let this thing warm up real quick, and while we do so, I got 2 packages in the mail that I want to open with you guys really quickly. I picked up these packages from the PO box yesterday, and this first one is 90s Classic. 90s Classic. I actually got a sticker from this person when I was in SoCal. The sticker's here somewhere, but it's literally right here on the front. 90s Classic. Palmdale, California. Big shout out. Ooh, that was a sharp cut. Alrighty, we have a note. It says, Dana, I love the content, bro, your dedication, and glad to see all the 90s chassis build. Here is a t-shirt for you. There we go. That's the sticker right there, 90s Classic. And I'm pretty sure that's what the t-shirt is as well. It says 90 Classic right there, and then it's got the little writing on the bottom. Oh yeah, there it is, guys. This is what this channel is all about. 90s Classic. Y'all already know what it is right there. I'll put his Instagram link in the description below if you guys want to support and cop something, if this fits you guys as well, because I know for sure it fits me. I got this big package right here that says fragile right here in the bottom, and I want to see what's inside. I might have to step back a little bit here. From Riverview, Florida. Hey, package made it all the way out here to California, brother. Let's go ahead and see what's inside. Tell me why I cut on the right side. If you guys look right here, there's a little note kind of just wedged in there. Let's go ahead and read this note. It says, Dana, hope you can put this to good use. I've had it stored in my closet since I got it for my CRX a few years ago. Rocking a half rad right now, and no plan on switching. Love your channel. Thank you for all you do. Cut away from yourself. Not towards yourself. Jordan. P.S. My name on YouTube is Swim Team Radio. This looks almost like a Sirocco style radiator, and the only reason why I say style is because I've never seen one that has a little angle on here before. It is a plastic end tank unit, which is funny enough because when I first learned about the Sirocco radiator for my wagon when it was boosted, I used a plastic end tank setup just like this in my wagon, and it worked perfectly. Now it actually has the aluminum version in there, but you guys already know I'm most definitely gonna put this to use on something very similar to the Sirocco style. Even has the same giant plug right here at the bottom. Hey, big shout out to Jordan. Thank you for sending this over all the way from Florida. You guys already know, man. I appreciate you guys and everybody who has sent anything to the P.O. box before. So with that being said, let's go take a little drive in the CRV. All right, so my buddy Eric is here. He's gonna drive his CRV real quick. So this car, before, you know what I'm saying, it needed head gasket work, so everything's new. We have a turbo kit on it now and some solid ass motor mounts. So this is like all new to him. We just went for a little spin. That blow-off valve is loud, so I want him to drive it real quick. I want to stick the camera out the window so you guys can hear that blow-off valve. Let's get to it. Drives like a stock CRV, dude. This is loud as hell. That shit is loud, dude. That's hilarious. Oh yeah, then the dust shield. Forgot, we're gonna punch that out the house. You know, wake the whole neighborhood. By the way, guys, that's only 3,000 RPM, dude. We're not even taking it up. We're just coasting it a little bit here. Oh, this is like driving around with that little whistle in your muffler back in the days. That's hilarious. Not bad, a little bit. Yeah, this car is all-wheel drive too, so it you know, it picked up when it picked up. But imagine when this thing go all the way to the limiter, it's finna be crazy. I mean, fun, but you know, not crazy. Crazy is this car. This car's crazy. Not shabby, dude.
Love it. Thanks, Dana.
Yeah, I can't wait to get this thing on the dyno. We still got a few more things to do with this car, though. I think something's wrong with this thing. That shit's cooked. Oh, you ballsy driving that shit with no front license plate, bro. School, get out of here with that shit. Let me know when you get home.
Thank you.
Oh man, if that CRV pull it up on you definitely gonna know it's turbo. We're gonna wrap it up right here, guys. Turbo CRV build done. Eric's happy. Still a lot to do with it. Clutch, ECU jumper, injectors, and then we go to the dyno. We don't know when, but we'll definitely be there when it happens. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and the whole entire CRV build series. If you guys did, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around for some turbo EK content, got a homie dropping off his car here soon in preps of Race Wars. If you guys want to see some turbo EK content, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.